Movies Are a Thing is a weekly podcast going over the movies releasing this week.
And whatever movie-related tangents we decide to venture off on today.
Hello and welcome to Movies Are a Thing. My name is John.
And I'm Travis, and here are the movies premiering this week.
But before we do that, Travis.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. We've been off for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, it's all right. No worries.
Dude, I feel so bad.
Oh, it's all right.
It's like, literally as I was getting ready to leave the house last week, I had everything in there.
You did, yeah.
I had everything in there. Mm-hmm. And as I was getting ready to leave the house, work stuff blew up. Sure. And like, when I finally got a chance to like text you, you were already here. You already had everything. I was like, oh my. Mm-hmm. I was so mad at just work in general.
Well, okay. Just to be clear, I wasn't here yet. I was in St. Michael at Chipotle. So and you texted me right as I was leaving to go to the theater.
Oh, so you had literally just bought your food.
Yep. And then I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm going home.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all right. I got to eat my food at home, so it was all good.
And I'm sorry to anybody that that is listening that didn't have a chance to listen last week. It just everything kind of blew up, and I don't think I actually got like officially done with work until like 10:30.
Oh wow, jeez.
So
that's late considering. Wow. Whew. But let's see. So it's been a couple weeks. Let's see what has happened in the last couple weeks. So it was my birthday the last time that we had a show. Mm-hmm. So that was good. I went, the family took me out to dinner to go to Texas Roadhouse, so that was delicious.
Roadhouse.
Yep, Roadhouse.
Very nice, nice.
But no Swayze. Let's see. And then it was the 4th of July. I worked. I did have to bring in my car, but that was because of an issue that I had back in like January that I had been waiting on parts since then.
Oh, right.
So they finally just came in.
Wow. So
$2,000 later.
Jeez.
But
it's a good thing we knocked on the wood when we did.
Exactly. I totally forgot about that too. But in all this time, I did have a chance to watch a few things. Okay. So bear with me here. Okay, so first up, I watched A Quiet Place. Mm-hmm. Quiet Place Day 1. And I liked it. It was a worthy sequel of, I guess not even a sequel, it's a prequel. Because it's the day one of how everything started. Mm-hmm. But I thought that, isn't it Lupe Nyong'o or however
Lupita Nyong'o.
Thank you. Her so she can tell a story with her eyes.
Oh, that's good.
And she does a very good job with telling a story and having that emotion with her eyes.
Very nice.
And it was very intense. It was very enjoyable. I liked it.
Sweet.
The next one I watched was Despicable Me 4.
Okay.
I thought that one was just okay. It's the weakest, I think, of the series so far.
Oh, really? Okay.
The Minions were great. I like Gru in it. My only issue was Will Ferrell as Maxine, as the bad guy in the movie.
Now, remind me. Mm-hmm. I know, like, some people I talked to just do not like Will Ferrell in general, don't like his style of comedy. Mm-hmm. Was that you that I was talking to about that, or was that somebody else?
So that might have been somebody else. I do enjoy his comedy from time to time. I do think he can be a bit much sometimes. There are some things he's fantastic in, and then there's other things where he's just somewhat okay in.
Right.
And I thought that this one, he was just annoying Will Ferrell in this one.
Gotcha.
But if you like Despicable Me, if you like Minions, I think you'll enjoy this one.
Gotcha. So it's kind of speaking of that. Did your mom go and see it too?
No, she hasn't seen it yet, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I thought for sure she would have watched that one by now, but she hasn't come yet, so.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Okay, and then the next ones I watched were to prepare for Maxine coming out. I watched Pearl because I hadn't seen that yet, and I really liked that one.
Okay.
It was very different. Like, I liked how it seemed like it was shot like an old-fashioned movie, because like at the beginning of the movie they have the credits.
Okay.
At the beginning of it, like how old-fashioned movies used to.
Right.
And I like that. I thought that Mia Goth, she always does a fantastic job, and the kills were great. It wasn't really scary, but it was just a good story to go along with.
Okay.
Maxine, on the other hand, is my favorite of the series.
Really? Okay.
In my opinion, I know there's people out there that think it's probably the weakest, but I really enjoyed it. I really like movies about making movies, and this one she is becoming an actress, and she started off in the adult industry, and then now she is getting into horror movies. And then amongst all of that, there's also the Night Stalker stuff going on too. So you're trying to figure out what's going on with all that. And I thought they did a really good job with it, especially, Ty West did a really good job with it. So if you liked the Ty West X trilogy, or the 2 movies, now 3 out, then I would say go watch it. And then the last one I watched was Kinds of Kindness.
Okay. How was that one?
That movie is bizarre, but a heck of a lot of fun.
Really?
It is.
Okay.
It's very different because it's one movie, but it's 3 different movies. So it's split up into 3 parts, and each of them are different. But it's the same actors strung out throughout the entire thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, like, Jesse Plemons plays different characters. So does Emma Stone. William Dafoe, and all that. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, there's a lot of adult stuff in it. If you liked Poor Things and The Favorite, I think you'll enjoy this one. So,
very nice.
How about you? Did you watch anything since I've seen like everything? Oh, sore subject. I'm sorry.
No, I was unfortunately pretty busy the last couple of weekends here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean, like, even this last weekend obviously was the holiday weekend. I barely had, didn't even have phone service. I had a little bit of internet, but not even really any phone service from Wednesday night until Sunday afternoon. So, yeah, it was, I mean, it's a great place to go to, but there's not a lot of connectivity there.
Oh, sure, definitely.
And there was a lot of people there, too.
Oh, I bet.
There's a lot of people. And, yeah, no, it was good, but it was exhausting in its own way.
So your social battery is exhausted?
Yes. I haven't really had a chance to replenish the social battery. So
I gotcha.
In the past couple of weeks.
Oh, no. Okay.
But yeah, so we have had all of that, and got eaten up by mosquitoes pretty bad. And
yeah, you were telling me about that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this place is the cabin is right on a lake, and it backs up to swampland as well, and just tons of mosquitoes. You go to a different part of the lake, and it's just tons of, horse flies and deer flies, and so you either get eaten by mosquitoes or you get eaten by flies.
Okay, sure.
One or the other. Personally, I'd rather have mosquitoes because you can still, spray mosquito repellent and still be good. Deer flies and horse flies. They come up, they don't really care, and they just chomp on you.
Oh, they sure do.
Ugh.
Were there at least frogs saying, "Bud, why, sir"?
No.
No. Oh.
No. And I didn't even catch a fish.
Lame.
I know. I had one had one. I went out fishing only once, unfortunately, but
okay.
I had one come up and hit the lure, but I didn't snag it in time, so it was very unfortunate.
Lame.
Right? So, but what do you say we get into some of the movie news that happened here over the last couple of weeks?
We have a lot of it, so let's yeah.
Unfortunately, we do have a few things that we want to talk about here, and that's the passing of a couple of different people in the industry. First one being Martin Mull.
Okay.
He passed away. He was 80 years old. He passed away not this past week, but the week before. And I mean, basically, like he really was a major part of my life growing up.
Sure.
Like I didn't really realize it, but he was. Because I always knew him. First thing I knew him from was Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Oh, sure. Yep.
And then I watched Clue. And I was like, hey, it's the dude from Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. And then Arrested Development.
Oh, sure. Yep.
And yeah, so I mean, for a long time there, he was very much a staple of my childhood. And like I said, he passed away on June 27th, actually.
Oh, the day after my birthday. Okay.
And then that was after a long fight against a long illness, is what they're saying.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, your knowing of Martin Mull is kind of along the same lines as me. So I knew him from Roseanne because he played Leon in there, and then from there I grew up and watched Sabrina, and then from Sabrina I watched Clue, and yeah, so it's very sad, and he's a very funny guy, and he was great in everything he did. So
he was great as Gene Parmesan in Arrested Development.
He sure was, yes.
Gene Parmesan. Oh my God!
Gosh, I haven't watched that series in a while.
Right.
It's good stuff.
Might have to do a rewatch of it.
Most definitely. So there's always money in the banana stand.
Yep. No touching.
Yep.
No touching. But kind of going on here, we also have news that Bill Cobbs did pass away as well.
Okay. I was trying to look and see what.
Well, he was in Air Bud.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of one of the major things that I know him from. He was one of Whitney Houston's staffers in The Bodyguard. And then he was also one of the old guards in Night at the Museum.
Okay.
That's the other one that I really know him from.
Okay. Oh, and then he was also in Oz the Great Powerful.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like Night at the Museum, it was Mickey Rooney, Dick Van Dyke, and Bill Cobbs.
Yep.
As the three kind of original Night Watchmen.
Yes.
So he did pass away at the end of June.
Okay.
Trying to think on the 25th.
Okay, so right before my birthday.
And then the last one that we have here that is kind of note to us here is John Landau has passed away as well.
Okay.
And so he wasn't an actor, but he was a producer who worked very closely with James Cameron, actually, on Titanic, Avatar, and the sequels. But he was only 63 years old.
Wow, that's
and
so young.
He was battling cancer.
Okay.
And so, unfortunately, the cancer ended up getting him in the end, and at 63 years old, passed away.
That's sad.
Yeah.
And I know he's just a producer, but he looks familiar. Like, I feel like I've seen him in other things. But if he's just a producer, then probably not.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like, if you watch any sort of, like, making of or anything like that, I'm sure his face would have popped up.
I suppose, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
But, yeah, I mean, he also, I mean, he worked at 20th Century Fox for a while, and he oversaw such things as Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire, Speed, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, you know, the Power Rangers, and The Last of the Mohicans.
Okay.
So he's and True Lies too.
Okay.
And that's kind of where he started working with James Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, obviously won a producing Oscar for Titanic.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's been working with James Cameron, and yeah, unfortunately, like I said, passed away here.
Wow. Well, these people will be greatly missed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And every single one of them has quite a legacy to leave behind here too.
Very much so, yes.
So, kind of going into a couple other things here now. One thing that I'm honestly surprised that it lasted as long as it did.
Mm-hmm.
Is Redbox.
Right.
Just because of A, streaming, and B, you know, movie studios. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Just want, you know, so much money for licensing their movies and everything like that. That Redbox, I thought was going to go under a long time ago. It apparently has just gone under, like officially. They finally filed for bankruptcy.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I should say, Redbox's owners, because they were bought out by Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment in 2022.
Okay.
Which I think we might have said something about it. I think I remember talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I remember talking about Chicken Soup for the Soul and how it started out as just a, you know, feel good kind of like book series stuff.
Yeah, right.
You know, like little anecdotes and stories and whatever that were, you know, chicken soup for your soul.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make your soul feel better.
Exactly right.
And they ended up branching out and everything, and they acquired Redbox in 2022.
Okay.
And immediately started going into debt, and now they owe a lot of money to a lot of people.
I'm sure they do. Wow.
And like, I was looking at it, and the crazy thing to me is that basically, what did it say? Like their technicians and everything like that were out in the field, got an email on a Tuesday in mid-June that said, "Please stop what you are doing and return home immediately. You will be paid for the rest of the day."
Jeez.
And yeah. So less than 2 years. They acquired it in August of 2022. But basically, like they got so much debt, and the CEO apparently decided to push out the entire board of directors. And so like there's no board of directors, and it was not good. They've been sued over a dozen times by companies including CVS, 7-Eleven, and NBC Universal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so like apparently they were trying to settle with NBC Universal, and it failed after they missed a required $4 million payment. And Redbox is on the verge of having its entire car fleet repossessed.
Jeez. That's crazy.
Yeah. So they have filed for bankruptcy here at the end of June.
Okay.
But yeah, everybody that worked there is basically now out of a job. And yeah, it's just kind of crazy how quickly that seemed to implode. But apparently it's been going for a while now.
Wow. I mean, I still see some red boxes around here every so often. I know, like in where I live, there was one outside of our gas station for the longest time, and then now I think somebody hit it with their car and it got damaged, so it's not there anymore.
Right.
And then it's like in front of like Walgreens and things like that now too. So
yeah, well, I guess like they weren't paying the people that they were putting their stuff in front, like the stores they were putting their stuff in front of, and so some of the stores were actually going out and like unplugging them.
I believe it. Sure.
Because I mean, you're not going to pay us. You're not going to be able to use our space.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be paperweight.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Yeah, that's a whole thing apparently with Redbox and going out of business.
Wow.
But on the opposite end of things, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago with Alamo Drafthouse closing. That one franchise closing, which was 5 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I believe.
Yes.
And then the one that was up here in Minnesota. The Alamo Drafthouse company that was acquired by Sony has stated their intention to officially reopen all 6 of them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so the franchisee declared bankruptcy last month, and then at the end of last month, basically Sony was like, "Yeah, we've basically got the contract going, and we're gonna reopen every single one of them."
Okay.
The only weird thing, and I guess it kind of makes sense, is that they did say, let me see if I can find it here quickly. Alamo will also offer those fired the first crack at interviews for open positions. And now, I mean, it sounds weird. It sounds a little kind of gross, I guess. But they're completely different companies.
Very true.
One was a franchisee of the Alamo Drafthouse, and now it's the actual Alamo Drafthouse coming in and kind of taking over, or basically buying and reopening. And so, they're going to be starting fresh.
Right.
And I mean, they might even have different standards and practices from the franchisee. So it might be a completely different working environment as well.
Very true.
You never know. I mean, even for companies that have for say movie theaters that are under the same management, you go to one theater, your experience is one way. You go to another theater, and it's a completely different experience.
Oh, exactly.
I won't name any names, but yeah. So it sounds like basically those that are rehired will get a more robust benefits plan with immediate eligibility, including access to daily pay, substantial 401k match, paid medical leave, accrued PTO, and free mental health services.
Nice. Okay.
So we will once again here in Minnesota have an Alamo Drafthouse.
That's awesome. Well, I wanted to go to it, and then I found out it closed. But now I'm glad it's coming back. So that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what they said though.
There will only be one. Or
there can only be one.
That's right.
So Sony saw the Alamo Drafthouse, they bought up, and they saw the franchisees, and they're like, there can only be one.
That's right.
Speaking of Highlander, the Henry Cavill-led Highlander reboot is going to start filming in January.
Okay.
So still a little bit ways away, but I mean, they're doing location scouting, they're getting everything ready to go. But yeah, it'll start filming in January.
Okay.
And apparently Chad Stahelski did voice some concerns about sword fighting over gunplay.
Okay.
Because, I mean, he's very much a gunfights kind of director.
Very true.
But now he's doing Highlander, which is not. So,
I mean, it's different, but kind of the same. I mean, I don't know. I guess it is very much different, but yet still kind of the same. In I don't know how to really explain it, but yeah.
So here's how Chad explained it.
Okay.
Swords to me are one of the trickiest things to do in fight scenes, because if I mess up too much with a firearm, the muzzle flashes are digital, so we don't have to worry about hurting anyone. When we do car stuff, that's also a big concern. But now there's ways now, cables that take some of the hazards out for the cast. Swords, it's a little trickier, because now I gotta trust that my actors are swinging this piece of metal at each other and hopefully not gonna take their eyes out or stab somebody. Every sword movie, somebody gets poked or hit on the head or something like that. It takes a little bit more skill and a little bit more dedication, so that's always a concern. So that's what he was saying is his concern about all of this.
Okay.
And then there's also, sometimes a 3-minute sword fight can be a little boring. So I'm worried about, am I going to bore you with a movie about sword fighting? How do I sprinkle in firearms and martial arts and car chases? And what's their story part of things? I have to get all of that as well. So
I don't remember there being gunplay in the original Highlander.
Right?
It's been a while since I've seen it, but
there's a Scotch Spaniard.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a
Spaniard.
Yes, the pen is my dear.
So, I mean, I can see his concerns, but as at the same time, it's like swashbuckling movies are a thing.
True.
Did you hear it? I said the name of the podcast.
I saw that. Yes, or I heard that actually.
Wasn't even trying. Oh yeah.
Oh right.
So we do have that starting up in January.
Okay.
Going from one 90s movie to another. Street Fighter. Apparently the new movie is going to be coming out March 20th, 2026. I don't think we really have any real, don't have any plot synopsis, don't have anything like that. I don't even know if we have a director.
Okay.
But they have it on their schedule for March 2026.
Okay. Well, I know it's not going to happen, but I would love to see Jean-Claude Van Damme come back. I know that won't happen.
See, how about this?
Mm-hmm.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, yes.
Okay.
Ming-Na Wen as well as Chun-Li.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I also really liked, oh gosh, why can't I think of his name? But the guy who played, why can't I say it? Gomez Adams.
Oh, yeah. Raul, right? No.
Raj.
No. Street. Raul Julia.
Yeah, that's it. Raul Julia. That man was sick with cancer when he filmed that movie.
He was.
And he put on a performance of his life.
He did. Wanted to leave something for his kids.
That's right.
And he left it all on the table there.
He sure did. He was the best part of that movie.
Yeah. Although apparently at the beginning of that movie, where it's like the reporting that Ming-Na Wen is doing, and like in the actual movie they have it all cut up and everything. When they were filming it, they filmed it as a oneer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like the entire thing that she's reporting on, or like her entire reporting scene, is actually a oneer that she did.
Okay.
And then they cut it up in the editing bay. And it's like, why would you do that?
Right.
So we'll have to see if there's anything like that. If we have any Jean-Claude Van Damme or Kylie Minogue, there we go, or Ming-Na Wen coming back. But I'm not holding my breath.
Exactly.
Kind of like the performers have to do in O from Cirque du Soleil, which apparently is also getting a movie.
Jeez.
So Cirque du Soleil is getting into the movie industry, I guess.
I mean, I kind of figured that would happen at some point, considering its popularity, but...
Yeah. Well, like, here's the thing. Like, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I remember watching Cirque du Soleil shows on the TV and just being, like, super entranced. Because, I mean, like, performers at their peak, just doing these incredible feats of, acrobats and just everything else.
Right.
And so I actually went to Las Vegas years ago. I mean, this was almost a decade ago, if not a decade ago, something like that. And I actually went to go see at the Bellagio. Bellagio. And it was crazy. It was amazing. But this is the one that is entirely set like as a water show.
Okay.
And so like the stage itself, me being me, I kind of fixated on it for a long time.
Sure.
And I found out, or they had like a thing on Travel Channel or something like that, or Discovery, or years ago, when they were building it, that basically it is a giant pool with a hydraulic floor.
Okay.
And so like the actual like surface of it is like almost like a rubberized kind of surface with a bunch of holes in it, so that when it lowers, the water can go through, and then it just lowers all the way down to the bottom of the pool basically, and then it's a giant pool as the stage.
Okay.
And it was very crazy to see, but it's gonna be a movie now apparently.
Wow. And when I went to Vegas, I didn't go see Cirque du Soleil at all. I saw Carrot Top. So
I did also see Blue Man Group.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was great. That was great.
I'm sure it was.
And then I got chosen not to go on stage, but to throw Toblerone into one of the guys' mouths.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you make it?
I did.
Nice.
And then he came back over and spit it into my hand.
Ew.
Yeah, because like, okay, so sorry, story time.
Okay.
Going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but yeah, basically like we went to go see a Blue Man Group, and at one point in time, they all of a sudden kind of just like look out into the audience, and you could tell that they're looking for somebody because like the house lights come on and everything like that, and I'm just sitting there, and my head just immediately goes down, just like don't look at me, I'm not here. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. What's taking so long? I kind of peek up, and one of them is just dead staring at me. And it's like, oh, crap. And then they just beeline for me, like hopping over seats to get to me. Jeez. And it's like,
oh, no.
Oh, no. What do I need to do? But yeah, they kind of just, had like a Toblerone and kind of dumped it in my hand. I'm like, thank you. And then my cousin, who I went to Vegas with, was like, John, look at what he's doing. So he's like standing there. He's like kind of maneuvering around like he's going to catch it. I'm like, oh. So I start tossing him and he catches them or whatever. And then he comes back and just spits it in my hand and goes back to stage. And I'm just like, oh.
Thanks.
And then a stagehand came over and he, had plastic gloves on or rubber gloves on. He kind of took them and gave me a hand sanitizer wipe and everything.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was very kind of nerve-wracking for me because I don't like that kind of stuff.
Oh, sure, right.
But it was still a fun time.
So, did you get anything as like a prize, or was that just?
It was just an experience kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But I did end up buying one of the drum heads.
Nice.
That was used in a show.
Okay.
But yeah, so with the only thing that I have is a ticket stub.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, so they're going to be doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if this one does well that they would, go into more of their other shows that they're doing. I mean, I know that they've got the Beatles one. They've got Ka that I think has been running around to different theaters and stuff for a while now. But yeah, it's they'll apparently. Oh, I completely dropped the ball on this one too. They are developing this with Ridley Scott's Scott-Free Productions.
Interesting.
So we'll have to see how that all goes.
That's very interesting. I just don't do you think this would translate well into movie form?
I think there's enough pageantry. I mean, it'll be interesting because I don't know how captivating it will be without being like a live performance gives you a lot more freedom to not have dialogue than a movie does. Or a podcast. But I mean, that being said, like I said, they had literally like their shows on going through going over TV that I know I've watched on TV.
Sure.
So, and it was just basically recordings of their live productions.
Okay.
And I mean, if it's short enough as well, I mean, look at Shaun the Sheep.
True.
That has no dialogue. And it's a 90-minute movie, and it literally flew by when I went and watched it.
Right.
So, it all depends on how they make it, and if their feats of physicality and miming and all of that kind of stuff can keep the attention of whoever's watching, and if they're able to tell a story without speaking, because it would have to be either subbed or dubbed. Kind of thinking of it, they're gonna have to make sure that the story itself is pretty wicked. So speaking of wicked, apparently the release date has been moved up.
Okay.
And so basically it's not going to be going against Moana 2 anymore.
Okay, so they got smart. Okay.
Yeah. So instead of being opening on Wednesday the 27th, in time for Thanksgiving, it's actually going to be opening up November 22nd.
Okay.
So the Friday beforehand.
That's probably smart on their part.
That being said, the film is set to debut on the same day as Gladiator 2.
I did hear something about that because they actually just released like set photos movie stills on Entertainment Weekly for Gladiator 2. and it looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We just need that trailer.
Right. We'll see how it goes, and then I mean, it's going to be very strange because this is only a part 1. Remember?
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting it's that. Okay.
So I mean, the musical itself is pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
They also obviously have like the intermission and stuff. So I don't know where they're going to kind of split the movie.
Mm-hmm.
If they're gonna or what they're gonna add in, because I don't know if it's really like long enough for 2 movies kind of thing. But it'll be interesting to see.
Well, this one will still have an intermission. It'll just be a year-long one, or however long until the next part.
No, you're right on. A year later, November 26th, 2025.
Nice. Okay.
So you were exactly correct.
Going the Lord of the Rings route, where they release it every Christmas.
Right.
For the next 3 years.
It'll be great. Great.
Definitely. I'm super excited for it.
Right. All right. So, are you also super excited for English movies that are sequels to movies that are continuations of TV shows?
Oh, you know it. It's totally my jam.
It's totally your tea and crumpets?
It totally is.
So, Downton Abbey 3 apparently is going to be releasing September 12th, 2025. For those that enjoy Downton Abbey. I've never actually watched any of it, so I can't really say anything about it.
Yeah, I've never seen an episode, nor have I seen any of the movies, so...
Mm-hmm. So if you enjoy the TV show, the movies, you have another one coming up.
Mm-hmm.
September 12th, 2025. Should be fun.
Most definitely. Just go grab your gal pals and have a movie day.
Yeah. And I mean, like, this show has been going on for like a decade or something like that, too.
Something like that, yeah.
Which, coincidentally, is also how long this next movie that we're going to talk about here has been in development. And that is the Watch Dogs movie based off the video game.
Okay.
Apparently has been in development for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Ubisoft is back into the movie game. We have Watch Dogs, the movie coming out. But like I said, it's been in production, or it's been, trying to be made for the last decade.
Right.
And it's finally starting to film.
Okay. Do we have any sort of like actors or...
Tom Blythe and Sophie Wilde.
Okay.
So Tom Blythe was in Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. But he also appeared in like Billy the Kid and The Gilded Age. Mm-hmm. Whereas Sophie Wilde was in Talk to Me. Let me double check here.
See if I can...
I think she was the main actress in Talk to Me. She's been in a few other things too, but I think for the most part it's been kind of mostly Australian stuff.
Oh yeah, most definitely, because I know right now she's on something on Netflix that's like a series. I think it's a series.
Boy Swallows Universe?
That sounds right, yep.
Yep. Netflix, Boy Swallows Universe.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so it's her and Tom Blythe. They don't really have anything about, like who their characters are or anything like that. No real kind of synopsis, anything. But we should be able to see something hopefully soon.
Cool. I mean, I've never played the games. Have you at all?
I have not.
I believe it's like about like hacking and...
It's Hackerman.
Hackerman. And like a
I'm in
underground revolution or something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, like, one of the things is basically like they can go around and like all the different stuff that is electronic is basically hackable. Mm-hmm. And like you have like a device that can kind of just like hack anything, kind of,
Gotcha.
And I think I could be wrong on that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see how that all goes. Yeah.
Well, it can hack everything, but can it skydance?
Travis?
Yes?
The importance of these segues are paramount to making sure that everybody knows where we are at.
Yours is better than mine. That was good.
So, speaking of Skydance and Paramount, apparently Skydance is all but officially taking over Paramount now.
Okay.
And basically, like, it's just waiting for approval from, kind of like the government, basically.
Okay.
Because if there's like major mergers like this, they have to kind of make sure it's not going to become like a monopoly kind of thing.
Gotcha, sure.
And so Paramount Special Committee signed off on the merger on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, on Sunday. And then basically it sounds like David Ellison and Jeff Shell will kind of take over as being the head of Paramount.
Okay.
Now, David Ellison is the head of Skydance, or founder of Skydance.
Mm-hmm.
He is also the son of Larry Ellison,
okay,
who is the founder of Oracle, which is a major computer company.
Right.
Like major.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he was able to found, Skydance and get all that stuff going. And now he's going to be helming Paramount.
So is it going to change to Skydance Plus?
Don't know.
Okay.
They kind of went over some of what they want to do. But I mean, like I said, basically, like they have to wait for
the government approval.
Yeah. Subject to regulatory approval and expected to close in the third quarter of 2025.
Okay.
So, I mean, it takes a while for all this stuff to kind of go through to make sure that everything is in place, that the shareholders get whatever, and, anybody that was part of Paramount can get over into Skydance and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, we actually just kind of saw something similar in theme parks.
Mm-hmm.
For here in Minnesota, Six Flags and Cedar Fair merged.
Mm-hmm.
So Cedar Fair is the owner of Valley Fair here in Minnesota and like Cedar Point in Ohio, and Knott's Berry Farm as well out in California and other locations kind of around the country. And then Six Flags is Six Flags.
Mm-hmm.
But it ended up where I think it was more Cedar Fair bought out Six Flags than anything.
Okay.
But the name is going to stay as Six Flags Entertainment.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like Valley Fair and Cedar Point, they're going to keep their names. They're not going to be, Six Flags Valley Fair or Six Flags Cedar Point or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to keep that branding. But they're just going to be run by Six Flags, which has theme park rights for DC.
Ooh, indeed it does.
So like a lot of Six Flags parks and stuff, have like DC comic based rides.
Right.
And now that they're all one company, something like that could come to, all that. Mm-hmm. Or, other way around. Cedar Fair, a lot of Snoopy, a lot of Peanuts gang.
Oh, true.
Now some of that stuff could be going over to Six Flags as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're all one company.
True.
And basically, that went through, I believe, the 1st of July.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's been kind of a long time coming as well.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit shorter than, major movie studios, but,
right.
Not slouching in the the scale of things.
Oh, exactly. I just recently saw, well, speaking of Snoopy, that it's I think the 20th or 25th anniversary of I think it's Nickelodeon Universe at the Mall of America. And I know you were around when it was Camp Snoopy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird that it's been 25 years since it was.
I don't know if it's been 25 because I was in high school when they did that.
Oh, then it might have just been like.
I think it's 15.
Maybe it's SpongeBob's anniversary.
Yeah, it's SpongeBob's 25th anniversary.
Yeah, okay, then that makes more sense. Okay, never mind then.
Nickelodeon in 2023 had its 15th anniversary, 15th birthday.
Okay.
But yeah, SpongeBob debuted in 99, so that'd be 25 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
Of a yellow sponge and a pink starfish and a blue squid word and a red Mr. Krabs.
That's right.
And a green plankton.
That's right. And a spacesuit wearing squirrel.
Yes, exactly.
Sandy cheeks.
Exactly. So, yes, we have, going back to Paramount, which I think actually owns Nickelodeon. Paramount does own Nickelodeon. Mm-hmm. But I know one of the things that they're looking at doing is also like licensing out stuff to try to get back some money. to maybe, I mean, they did say that selling assets wouldn't necessarily be out of the question either, just because Paramount is basically hemorrhaging money.
Sure.
So they'd have to get something going. But we'll have to see how that all goes.
Okay.
See if they can bring it back from the dead.
Just don't say
Paramount 3 times in a row.
Exactly.
Speaking of Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice is apparently going to be opening the Venice Film Festival on August 28th, and that's going to be the world premiere of the movie.
Okay.
So that'll be coming up next month. The Venice Film Festival runs from August 28th to, where did I see it? I just saw it. Yeah, August 28th through September 7th. But yeah, all the cast will be there, obviously. The Warner Brothers sequel will be screened out of competition on Wednesday, August 28th at the Sala Grande. The festival has let us know that. And like I said, it'll be the world premiere. So it won't be there as part of the film festival. It'll just have its premiere at the film festival.
Gotcha. Okay. I was going to say, I didn't think that it would be like it's too big to be at that festival, but...
Yeah, no, this is just the premiere of it.
Okay.
And then international rollout will be around September 4th. Domestic here will be September 6th.
Okay. That's going to be a big movie.
Very big.
Very, very, very big. As big as a sandworm.
I mean, he is the host with the most, babe.
That's right. Gets better every time I watch it.
Yeah, I guess going from that to I don't even know. I really don't. Knights Camp is a new movie that's coming out, and we have found out that Judy Greer and Sophia Lillis have joined in to star in Knights Camp.
Well, I know who Judy Greer is, but Sophia Lillis.
She was in Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, she was also in It as well.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, yeah, so...
I just had to see a picture.
Yep, she was Beverly.
Yes.
And then she was also in Gretel and Hansel in 2020 as Gretel.
Oh, yep, mm-hmm.
And then she was Shelley in Asteroid City.
Okay, mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she's been doing pretty good.
She's been doing pretty good.
Yeah. And then she was Nancy Drew in Nancy Drew and the Hidden Staircase in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I really hope to see her in Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves 2 at some point in time. That would be amazing.
I love that movie. Well,
so good.
Yeah, the first one was fantastic.
So good. So good. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. But yeah, we know that those two have joined in to Knights Camp. I really don't know too much about Knights Camp. They did have a little bit of a synopsis on here, in that it follows 4 bubble-wrapped teens at a medieval-themed summer camp. On the eve of the camp's famous Battle of the Twin Bridge reenactment, the teens ignite an old legend and are accidentally transported to the real battle in 1297 AD, where they are tasked with saving one of their ancestors to preserve the future of their family lineage. Oh, it's set in Scotland.
Ooh.
Oh, yes, Scotland. So, I'm getting Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, I'm not mad at it. That movie's pretty good.
Right. Hold up. Hold on.
Ooh, okay.
Kid in King Arthur's Court meets Futurama, I'm My Own Grandpa. Did you watch that episode?
I'm sure I have. It's
where they
just
go
been a
back to the
while.
50s?
Yes, I have.
Or the 40s, I guess, for the atomic testing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I remember that. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Because they have to save their lineage.
Very true. Mm-hmm.
So,
Kid in King Arthur's Court. Wow. That's a movie I haven't thought about in years.
You're welcome.
That has what's-his-face in it from American Pie. I can see his face, but I don't. And he was also in Rookie of the Year. He's got a big butt.
Thomas Ian Nicholas.
Yes, that's it.
Also, Kid in King Arthur's Court has Daniel Craig in it.
What?
As Master Kane.
I'm going to have to rewatch this.
Yeah, Daniel Craig right there. Looking at it right there.
I wonder if I can find this on, like, Disney Plus.
So yeah, before he was Bond, he was Master Kane in the Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Hopefully his License to Kill doesn't have that haircut in it.
Wow. So, Judy Greer and Sophia Lillis joining up on Knights Camp. The next one that we have is actually one that we've talked about before. It's that R.I.P. movie from Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Apparently has been gotten by Netflix.
Okay.
Netflix picked it up.
Seems like a likely choice.
I mean, they did Apple TV with their last one, right? With Air?
Was it Apple TV?
I think it was.
I thought it was just in theaters, but it might have been also on Apple TV as well. So when I was watching Kinds of Kindness today, there was a point in which Jesse Plemons in all the movies, like he plays those different characters, and he has a different haircut in each one. And in one of them, he has his hair extremely short, and he looks just like Matt Damon in it. And I thought for sure it was Matt Damon. I was like, wait, no, that is still Jesse Plemons.
Very nice. I figured it out.
Okay.
Amazon Studios.
Amazon
did Air.
Okay.
And now they're going over to Netflix for R.I.P.
Okay.
So we'll have to see how that all goes. Should be interesting to see. We should really keep on going here because we have a lot to talk about still, and it is getting late already.
Sounds good, sir.
So as we have a lot of them, I'm just going to throw this out there right now. Thank you, St. Michael, for sponsoring the podcast. I really do appreciate that.
Yes.
You can come and watch a lot of these trailers and more in front of any movie that you come and see for fun here at St. Michael Cinema. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you, St. Michael Cinema. Really do appreciate the space and the accommodations.
Most definitely. We greatly appreciate it.
Travis appreciates the job. No.
Yeah, exactly. That too. But we also appreciate the like area to recording, because I mean we came from a basement before, and recording remote and all that good stuff. So it's nice to be able to see each other face to face again.
It is. It really is. It really is. But yeah, that does bring us to our trailers here. The first thing we actually want to talk about was a little featurette that was actually released for Twisters. And that was basically kind of explaining how the movie was shot on film. And so I feel like that is a great choice for this.
Yes.
Just because, like, I mean, even in when the trailer was released, it was like, this has like the same feel as the original movie.
Definitely.
I couldn't really explain it, but like to find out that they actually shot on film, just kind of is like, okay, nope, that makes sense now. That you won't necessarily be able to replicate the exact look of what the original one looked like if you were to do digital. Yeah, you could probably do a lot of like computer algorithms and stuff like that, like they did with Knives Out.
Sure.
But I don't know. There's just something about having stuff shot on film that's just like that's pretty cool. I'm glad that they did that.
Exactly. It's just that like extra added touch that is kind of like that chef's kiss.
And then like the actors were saying in there too, it's with digital, you have a lot more time and a lot more resources to be able to get the right take. With film, there's only so much film.
Exactly.
And then if you want more, you can't just offload it onto a hard drive and keep going. It's either good or not good.
Yep.
And so they basically apparently shot just on Kodak 35 millimeter film, and
that's awesome.
I am excited for this, and excited to see what they end up doing.
I am too. This is like this movie sequel has been a long time coming, and I'm really excited for next week.
And it sounds like the the crew was very excited to shoot on film too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like all the camera operators and everything like that were like, all right, we get to show what we can do.
Right.
It'll be great. Which, I mean, I don't know, film seems to be just making a huge comeback in general, like, film photography especially. Me included.
Right.
But yeah, so that should be fun.
Oh, definitely.
That brings us to our next trailer, which was the trailer for Here. This is the Robert Zemeckis, Tom Hanks, Robin Wright re-collaboration. That was a weird trailer.
It was very weird. Do you think that the whole movie is going to be just in that one living room?
I feel like it's mostly going to be there.
Okay.
But they might. I feel like they'll move around like the house and stuff like that too. At least partially, hopefully.
Because I have a feeling that it might just be like you see like that area, like it's like the old days, like there's the dinosaurs, and then like all of a sudden you see the house being built, and then all of a sudden Tom Hanks and the family moves in.
Right. And then I don't know, I got a little weirded out.
Okay.
With the digital de-aging.
It was a little weird.
And I mean, like, Robert Zemeckis is usually trying to do, like, some cutting-edge stuff, sometimes to the detriment of the movie.
Right.
Dead Eyes and Polar Express, anybody? But at the same time, like, if he didn't do, like, Polar Express and stuff like that, like, how far pushed back would something like Avatar have been?
Oh, true. Yeah.
Because, like, I'm just trying to think here, because we did have like Gollum and stuff like that before Polar Express.
Right.
But Polar Express was kind of like the
gosh, when did Polar Express come out?
I want to say 2005. Let me just double check that.
Okay. Because Fellowship came out in 01.
2004.
Okay. So that would have been right after Return.
Right after Return of the King. But as well, this was completely, 3D motion capture, no sets, no nothing, just the actors on a soundstage.
Now, I can't remember, did Zemeckis do this? Did he do Polar Express and then do Beowulf, or was it Beowulf and then Polar Express?
Beowulf was 2007.
Okay, so Beowulf was second. Okay.
And then A Christmas Carol was 2009.
I forgot he did that movie too.
Yep, and that was like the motion capture trilogy from Robert Zemeckis. And then we had something like Adventures of Tintin.
Oh, right. Wait, that was directed by Spielberg, though, wasn't it? Or was it? No, it wasn't. No, I don't.
Adventures of Tintin was directed by Spielberg.
Okay.
But that was also motion capture, I believe.
Gotcha. Okay. For some reason, I thought Robert Zemeckis had his hands in it too.
No.
But I was wrong.
No, that was directed by Steven Spielberg, written by Harrogate, Stephen Moffat, and Edgar Wright.
Oh, Stephen Moffat. Okay. So like Doctor Who fame.
And Edgar Wright.
Which I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but getting back to Here.
Right.
Let's get back here. It'd be an interesting kind of framing device to just be sat in the literal one spot. We'll have to see.
But I will say something, like, it really hit me when I think they're gonna have it to where like one of the characters at the end of it has Alzheimer's. Because they're like, we lived here, honey. At the end of it is like, oh man,
right.
Okay, this is gonna be sad.
Right. The next trailer that we have is the trailer for Heretic. Oh boy.
So,
Mr. Grant, what's going on?
Right. So I mean, everybody always dislikes Jehovah's Witnesses. And those poor girls.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, there's Jehovah's Witnesses going around. Two young women of religion who are drawn into a game of cat and mouse in the house of a strange man.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like, they go and knock on a door, and it's Hugh Grant's door.
Mm-hmm.
He invites them in to talk and everything like that, and they're like, well, we can't talk without your wife present, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And he's like, oh, she's just making apple or blueberry pie. And, you know, he goes to get something going, and they all of a sudden see a candle that says blueberry pie.
Yep.
And then they get locked into the room, and they have to try to fight their way out of it, almost like find or fight their way out of it.
Mm-hmm. But then it seems like he's built a maze in his basement.
Mm-hmm.
Because then he has that whole layout of what is going on in the basement and whatnot, and what they have to go through to maneuver their way out.
Yeah, it's almost like a miniature labyrinth.
Basically, yeah.
So, have fun with this one.
It really seems like something Shyamalan would make.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
And I'm really down for it, and I will have fun watching this. And I'm very intrigued to see Hugh Grant play a bad guy.
Yeah,
I mean, he does a creepy bad guy than he normally does.
I mean, he does usually do pretty good with bad guys.
Oh,
too.
Definitely. He was great in Dungeons and Dragons.
Exactly, as the slimy bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this one is more creepy, murderous bad guy.
Exactly.
So we'll have to see how that all goes. The next one that we have, I'm very confused by this.
Okay.
Because I think it said that it's an IMAX event.
Yes.
Brando Stone and the New World, which is a Childish Gambino movie.
Right.
Not a Donald Glover movie, a Childish Gambino movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because he also did all the music for it, and people are basically like, oh, this is his new album, is the music for this movie. The movie itself looks interesting.
It looks like it's going to be insane.
Yes, very much so.
Like, very good CGI, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was very impressed.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I don't know if you saw, like, in the trailer, all of a sudden these boxes of light, like prisms of light almost kind of thing, like start appearing, kind of like make some noises, and then all of a sudden they kind of, and they take whatever was in the box away. Mm-hmm. So, like, in one of them, the box is like going through the middle of a mountain, and then all of a sudden the entire mountain disappears and the entire top of the mountain comes crumbling down.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw that.
I did, yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Somebody mentioned it to me. I'm like, wait, what? And then I looked again. I was like, oh, okay. And then they're running, and all of a sudden the box kind of forms around them. It's like, ooh, okay. What's going to happen?
Right. So. But, like, watching this in IMAX, I think would be very cool. I mean, I love Childish Gambino's music. Like, he's not so much into the rap game right now as he once was when he first started. But he did release a new song recently, and it's a little bit more like rock than I was expecting.
Okay.
So that might fit along with this movie.
I gotcha.
I just don't know, though.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get more once it gets closer to release day, but...
Yeah. So I know that he is basically starring in it, and I'm guessing wrote it.
And also directed it.
He did. Okay.
Yep.
I wasn't quite sure of if he had directed it. Yep. Okay. Cool. So yeah, or no, he didn't even write it, I guess.
Oh, he didn't. Okay.
No, it was written by Evie Wilder.
Okay.
Who is known for Brando Stone and the New World.
Nice.
Donald Glover as Brando Stone, a famous musician navigating a world of empty people. He meets a woman and her child, and together they journey through a dystopian post-apocalyptic world. Yeah, so that should be very interesting.
Very much so. I really want to see this, actually.
Yeah. We'll see if I'll be able to drag my old ass to it.
Nice.
Speaking of my old ass, the next trailer that we have is for the movie My Old Ass. Which is a bit of a time travel movie, kind of. But a teenager basically has a bad trip.
On mushrooms, yep.
And meets her older self.
And her older self is Aubrey Plaza.
It is, yes.
Yep.
And basically they have to kind of help each other, Aubrey Plaza's character to kind of guide her younger self through high school, basically, and then her younger self helping her older self to, get out more,
right, exactly,
to, start actually living life again.
Yeah, this looks really good. I saw the trailer today when I watched Kinds of Kindness.
Oh, really?
And I was just cracking up watching the trailer. I think it looks hilarious.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This one looks pretty good. Coming out September 13th, I should say. I didn't say the other ones. I don't know when they're coming out. I apologize. But this one definitely looks interesting.
Most definitely.
Stay away from Chad.
Yes.
What's your name? Chad.
Yeah.
Oh. It should be fun.
Oh, definitely.
But that brings us to our next trailer, which is the new trailer for Trap. Speaking of Shyamalan.
Right.
I want to.
You want to see this?
I do.
Really? Interesting.
I mean, it's Shyamalan, so I'm not expecting like horror.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's got my boy in it. It's got Josh Hartnett in it.
It sure does. I love Josh Hartnett's, like, his face in this movie just sells me for it, because he has that, like, nice guy persona look to him. But then you can tell, like, if something's irritating him, like with a situation, then he's just like, yeah.
Yeah, and then apparently Alison Pill is in it as well.
Okay.
Which, is she the singer?
I think so, yeah.
Which, if you don't know Alison Pill, she was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World is what I know her from mainly. But then she's also been in a lot of other stuff. Star Trek Picard, the miniseries Devs. She was in the series The Newsroom, The Book of Daniel, The Life with Judy Garland, Me and My Shadows. I mean, she's been kind of like everywhere.
Okay.
Let me just see here quickly. Oh, she was in 3 episodes of Archer in 2022.
Nice.
Right? And then she was Mary Chaney in Vice in 2018.
Okay. Yes, nice.
So, I did not know that. But yeah, so Trap, it should be interesting.
That whole what did he put it into the deep fryer? It was something that explodes, but I couldn't tell what it was.
I think it was just like pop or something like that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, soda. I would have to rewatch it though, just to kind of.
That girl's gonna get messed up.
Right. Okay, hold on. Let me.
I cringe when I get a little bit of popcorn oil on my hand. Couldn't imagine getting.
Let me see. What do we got here? Looks like more oil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Looks like it says canola oil or on it or something. But yeah, it's just closed bottles of stuff.
Okay. So then, like, when it
gets pressured up.
Yeah,
pressurized. And then if it's a glass bottle too, then.
Oh, yeah, even more than shards. And it's going to be a bad time.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like you said, he really does have almost like the nice guy next door kind of vibe about him.
He sure does, yep.
Which works really well for a movie like Lucky Number 11.
Exactly.
Haven't brought that one up in a while.
That's a great movie.
It is a fantastic movie.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't watched it, you should go watch it.
Definitely.
But we do have that coming in August 2nd. So just a couple of weeks. Less than a month.
Oh, I can't believe we're almost into August.
I know. This summer is going by too fast.
It really is. But it also didn't help that we had pretty much no winter, so.
Right. Yep. We'll see how this all goes.
Mm-hmm.
But that brings us to our next trailer as well, which is the trailer for Hellboy, the Crooked Man.
This Wish.com Hellboy.
I mean, like, here's the thing. This new movie was actually written by the creator of Hellboy.
Right.
And, like, I think the look of it more closely follows what the look of Hellboy is for the comic that it's actually based off of.
Okay.
And it's going to be like a different take of Hellboy. Mm-hmm. So it won't be like Ron Perlman's where, you know, it had the sass, it had the comedy, it had the action, it had, you know, all that kind of stuff. It is going to be a lot more of a horror kind of movie.
I definitely got that from the trailer.
And like, but I mean, to go off of your point as well too, like the trailer definitely felt like a B horror movie trailer.
It did, yeah.
Like it didn't really say comic book movie to me.
Right.
But that might be what they're going for too, since they don't necessarily want to be compared to the other Hellboys. Which, I mean, David Harbour's Hellboy kind of got a bad rap, but...
And it was decent too.
I liked it. I can't really tell you too much about it anymore, because I haven't really thought about it for a while. But that being said, I mean, I can't really tell you too much about Ron Perlman's Hellboy either, other than like, I mean, Abe Sapien, you know, obviously. There was the dude with like the clock that he kind of like inserted into his chest that was like sand or something like that. You know, I remember like that kind of stuff.
Right.
And like David Harbour's Hellboy, I mean, I know that there was that scene inside the church, and it was like a green almost portal kind of showed up or something like that. I remember like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
But yeah, I think like it just unfortunately didn't have the right writing team, or there was too much interference that kind of took over. And it just wasn't able to be what it could be.
Right, exactly. But maybe this one will be the best one out of all of them.
Never know.
You never know. I guess we'll find out.
Exactly. But that brings us to our next trailer, which is Flight Risk. Oh, boy.
So this was not what I expected at all.
No, not at all. This is Marky Mark, and it is also Eric Foreman.
He threw me for a loop too.
Right, and then Michelle Dockery.
Yeah.
Which, do I know her from anywhere? I'm trying to think.
She's been in stuff. I can't like. Can I place it right now? No, but
she's been in Downton Abbey.
Oh, that might be where I've seen her.
But she was also in The Gentleman. She was Rosalind Pearson in The Gentleman.
In the movie, it's been a while, but okay, sure.
She was Melanie Vanderkoy in Boy Kills World.
Oh, okay.
So she was the sister in charge of like all the media stuff.
That's right.
I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly.
That's true. Yeah, that seems familiar because I know that name for sure. 'Cause the Vanderkoys.
Yeah, and it was Famke Janssen as the main one. And I think there was really only the two women, and then it was the brother, and there was the brother-in-law that was like the voice of the thing.
Right, and that was Charlito, wasn't it?
Charlton Copley?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
or he was the brother, not the brother-in-law. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think. But yeah, so Michelle Dockery is an FBI agent. No, federal marshal.
One of those two, yeah. Well, I believe that it was Marky Mark was playing the air marshal.
No, he was just the pilot.
Was he? Okay,
yeah.
All right.
He was just the pilot, and then Topher Grace was the guy who was being transported because he's going to testify against the mafia or something like that. And then stuff happens. We find out Marky Mark is bald.
You're right.
And it just completely transforms him. Like, wow, was not expecting that.
Looks like you guys need a pilot, eh?
Do you know who directed this?
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, I did not realize that.
I only knew that because I just recently got the poster for us for the TVs downstairs, and it says directed by Mel Gibson. And I was like, oh, wait, what? I didn't know he was still directing movies.
Right.
But good for him.
So, yeah, no, this one looks intense. It looks pretty good.
It definitely does. Mel Gibson, he gets a bad rap for his directing sometimes, just because. I mean,
he can be a little kooky dukes.
He can be, and I mean, rightfully so for what went on in the past. But that's the past. But he's put out some pretty good stuff in his directing. I mean, Braveheart was fantastic. Hacksaw Ridge. I really liked Apocalyptico. I know that one's not very well known, but I know I saw, well, also Passion.
Right.
And I know they're making sequels to that. So.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, so we have that Flight Risk. Should be interesting.
Definitely.
We also have a trailer for Skincare. Not too sure what to think about this one.
So this one's directed by Elizabeth Banks.
Right.
And it is totally not what I expected it to be. I was expecting it to be a horror type movie, but it is not. This is definitely not the follow-up I was expecting after Cocaine Bear.
Right. I mean, going from like Pitch Perfect to Cocaine Bear to now this Skincare,
Or
like
even when she played Rita Repulse in Power Rangers.
Yeah. Well, then, I mean, she also played Effie in Hunger Games.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is that the name, Effie? I think that's it.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
But yeah, so like this one, it says it's based off of a true story. I'm wondering if it's kind of like same as Cocaine Bear is based off of a true story kind of thing. But this skincare person that's out in California or something like that all of a sudden gets somebody trying to ruin her career, I guess. And she has to try to figure it out and also get back her name.
I thought it was somebody was stealing her identity, and she was just like framing her for things too.
I think I think that has part to do with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to see how it all goes.
Definitely.
I mean, it's coming out next month, so I just I mean, that's really all I can really say about it.
Exactly. Like I'm gonna have to see more. So right now, I just don't know if I want to see this one yet, but possibly we'll see.
Kind of like you'll have to see more of the next trailer that we have.
Exactly.
And that's the trailer for Longlegs. So you just have all the fun with this one, Travis.
I so will.
Yeah, we had a new trailer drop this last week here. I really don't know what to say about it. They also actually dropped another thing for this where it had they had like a heartbeat microphone or something like that hooked up to the main actress when she actually went, or her first scene with Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
When she finally saw him as his character in Longlegs. And I think in there they basically said that her resting heart rate was like 70 beats per minute, 68 beats per minute or something like that.
Yep.
And when she was shooting the scene, it was at 170.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of
right. Yeah, that's quite the jump.
Right. So Longlegs, Travis, this is all you.
I am so excited to see this. I know we're going to talk about it here in a little bit because it's one of our movies premiering this week, but I didn't want to watch this new trailer because I want to try and go into this as fresh as possible. But I did watch the heartbeat thing, and I thought that was very, very cool.
Because they do everything that they can to make sure you don't see Nicolas Cage's character.
Oh, exactly. And I'm glad that they don't show it.
Right.
Because, I mean, I'm sure he still looks like Nicolas Cage, but maybe it's altered a little bit to where he just looks creepy, grotesque. Who knows?
Right.
I don't know what to expect, but I am along for the ride.
That should be interesting to see.
Yes.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the 90s?
I do, yeah.
Like around 1992-ish?
I would have been 7, so yeah.
Okay, well, we have a new trailer for the movie 1992. Which very much seems intense.
So it's made by Death Row Records.
Yeah.
Or studios, so that's Snoop Dogg's studio.
Mm-hmm.
And it is centered around the riots of...
the LA uprising following the Rodney King verdict.
Yes. And there is a heist going on. It looks like for catalytic converters.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Well, I don't know if it's exactly for catalytic converters. They're planning a heist of platinum from the factory that makes catalytic converters.
Okay, sure. So that they can... Okay, I get you.
And then Tyrese Gibson is the security guard for that factory.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, he works at that factory, and basically he's trying to watch his son. And when the uprising happens, he's like, okay, the safest place to be will be at the factory.
Mm-hmm.
Unbeknownst to him, there's a heist going on at the factory.
Right. And speaking of, this movie has Ray Liotta in one of his last roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta, Scott Eastwood, Tyrese Gibson, like we were saying, and then just a supporting cast to go along with it here.
It was very different to see Tyrese not in his goofy, like, laughy self like he normally is in Fast and the Furious.
Mm-hmm.
So he's normally like the jokey, smiley type of character.
Right.
And this one, he's very deadpan, very serious. I mean, it's very serious subject matter, but...
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, he was in the first Transformers as well.
Oh, that's right. He was, wasn't he? Yep.
Left cheek.
Yep.
Left cheek.
Yep. That's right, with the scorpion. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then was he in Four Brothers?
He was with Marky Mark.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There he is. Yep. Four Brothers. I mean, that was kind of a more serious role as well.
It was. God, that's an underrated movie too. That's a good one. And should I tell Elafor in that one? Or is that, yeah, Chiwetel?
Yep, Chiwetel Ejiofor is in there.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
As Victor Sweet.
Yes.
And then, Marky Mark, Tyrese Gibson, Andre 3000, and Garrett Hedlund. As Jack.
Yes. Mr. From Tron.
Sam Flynn.
Yep.
Yeah, he was the squirrely one in Four Brothers.
He was.
'Cause I think he was the youngest, wasn't he?
He was, and then he ends up getting...
Yeah.
Yeah, spoiler, sorry, but yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. And Sofia Vergara's in there, and Terrence Howard.
Man. The original roadie.
Yep. And I mean, this was 2005. So, yeah. So that was a couple years before he was Lieutenant Rhodey.
He sure was. I finally remember watching that movie. So I can remember them having that, like, the fight at the end of the movie on the lake.
Yep.
And Marky Mark kicking his butt.
So, 1992 is definitely a more serious role for Tyrese Gibson.
Definitely.
I mean, like I said, it looks intense, but it looks pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's one of Ray Liotta's last performances.
Sure was.
Before his passing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like we were saying, it's completely about the LA uprising after the Rodney King verdict, and basically Ray Liotta and Scott Eastwood play father-son, and they're trying to kind of mend their relationship by performing this heist.
Yep.
And Tyrese Gibson is just trying to keep his son safe by keeping him at the factory where this heist is taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Without knowing that the heist is taking place.
Right, exactly. That old story.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know how it goes.
Exactly.
But that brings us to our next trailer. And that's the trailer for Red 1. I mean,
it's got potential.
It does have potential.
It's very CJ.
It looks super goofy.
It does. I'm down for J.K. Simmons as a buffed out Santa.
Yeah. So Red 1 is basically Santa Claus gets kidnapped. J.K. Simmons is Santa.
Yep.
The Dwayne Johnson is his bodyguard, and then Captain America is on the naughty list 4.
Yep.
He's an NL4.
Yep. And isn't he like a tracker, basically? Like,
yeah. Basically, he's like somebody that can track down
where
Santa is, and then Krampus is there,
and they get into a slap fight.
Yep. Yep. Well, the Dwayne Johnson and Krampus get into a slap fight.
Yes.
And then Bonnie Hunt is Mrs. Claus.
Aw, Bonnie Hunt.
And Lucy Liu is in there.
That was good to see her.
Now, who is Garcia? Doesn't say.
Okay.
Let's see here. Wyatt Hunt plays a young version of Captain America. Nick Kroll is in there.
Nice.
Did not realize that. But yeah, no, like, is it just me, or does Chris Evans, with his current look a lot like Johnny Knoxville? Think Men in Black Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, all he's missing is the backpack.
Tell me that doesn't look like Men in Black Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Either that or, why can I not think of his name? James Roday.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, hold on. Sorry, 1 second. I gotta pull this up quick. Look, it's Chris Evans tracking down Santa. Sorry for those listening in. I actually just pulled up a picture of James Roday as his character in Psych.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like, okay, so Johnny Knoxville from Men in Black, from his character in Men in Black, James Roday in Psych, and Chris Evans in Red One.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all look like one kind of person.
Chris Evans looks like he's 20 years younger in that, like, in whatever they have him wearing and whatever hairstyle, he looks so much younger.
He's got the faux hawk going.
Yeah.
So, the world's most infamous bounty hunter.
Okay, that instead of tracker bounty hunter. Okay, yeah. That makes more sense.
Well, I mean, what is a bounty hunter other than a human tracker? Okay,
that's true. You got a point.
Like this point of going to the next trailer, which is the trailer for F1. This is the Brad Pitt one that we've talked about before. That went crazy overboard on like reshoots and everything, and basically has to make like $500 million just to make a profit.
They're gonna have a long way to go, considering it's gonna be out on Apple.
Right. Well, I mean, it's gonna be out in theaters too, I think.
Is it?
I mean, that's what it said.
I certainly hope so, because that movie I feel like would be really good on like our Eiffel screen.
Yeah.
Or IMAX.
Coming to cinemas summer 2025.
Okay.
So they have a year to build up hype for it, which to me seems like it's a little too far in advance for an F1 movie.
Right.
To start dropping trailers now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something like, Force Awakens, when that came out a year in advance, it's like, okay, I am hyped for this now.
Right.
I am going to be waiting this entire year for this.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when at the end of the trailer, when they had Han Solo being like, Chewie, we're home.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh, okay. Now I have to wait. I am going to be hyped this entire time. Mm-hmm. But for this one, it's just kind of like, oh, it's a racing movie. Okay. Yay.
Yeah. I mean, it's got potential. I mean, it's racing. It's Brad Pitt. Hopefully it's good. We just have to wait a year to find out.
Yeah. We'll see how it all goes. I don't know. There is a possibility that, the movie could just win the jackpot, which brings us to our next movie trailer, which is the trailer for Jackpot. This one is a John Cena / Aquafina movie that I had no idea was even coming out.
I didn't either.
This one might be going right to Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Just as a heads up for you. But it looks pretty good.
It really does.
I was super surprised. And just to make sure I have better chances, nobody go to the jackpot.com and enter in, because I want to win that. Thank you very much. No, basically As far as I can tell, Aquafina moves back to California, tries to get back into acting, but gets like a lottery card that everybody gets, and she ends up winning the grand lottery. Which then people immediately start trying to kill her because they see that she is the winner of it, and they immediately start trying to kill her. And then John Cena comes in to basically help her get away from all of the crazy people. Come to find out that if you win the grand lottery and somebody kills you within 24 hours, they get your lottery, which is why everybody's trying to kill her. And then all of a sudden, Simu Liu comes in. Which is weird because Shang-Chi, Simu Liu and Aquafina, Shang-Chi, kind of like, okay, I guess. So I don't know how well that's going to go through, just because we're so used to seeing them as like,
Right. Oh, and then they also made that Barbie reference too, and he was in Barbie.
He was. Was Aquafina in Barbie too?
I don't think so.
Nope. For some reason, I was thinking that she might have been, but yeah, my bad. But yeah, so like this one looks hilarious.
It really does.
It looks like it's action packed. It looks hilarious. It looks really good. I mean, even if the story's not like all that great, I feel like this is one where it's going to be very easy to let a lot of stuff slide.
Oh, definitely. I feel like even if the story is lacking, like John Cena's ability to be able to, his fight choreography will at least be able to help.
Yes. Yeah. Matters. And then the one thing that really got me in this trailer is when he's like tied down to the chair that's like bolted in, and like he picks it up and he's like going around and hitting them, and then all of a sudden he's just like turtle power.
Yes.
Flips.
That'd totally be something I would do too if I was tied up like that.
Right. It was amazing. It was fantastic. Oh, it was great. Oh, wait, what? Sean William Scott's in it too. Stifler's in it.
It's awesome.
As Rugged Man. So John Cena is Noel, Aquafina is Katie, Simu Liu is Lewis. Sean William Scott is Rugged Man. Oh, man.
So Sean William Scott has been in 2 movies with 2 wrestlers.
Yes. Yeah, because he hasn't been in anything with Batista.
No.
Yet.
Not yet.
He
was in The Rundown. With
the Dwayne Johnson.
Yep, with The Rock, the Dwayne. And then...
Oh, I forgot he did Bulletproof Monk.
Oh, he did, yeah, with Chow Yun-Fat.
Yeah. Oh, man, he's got some really good movies in here I completely forgot about. He was in the original Final Destination.
He was. He died,
Oh, was he the shower scene?
No. He was. He gets his head cut off by the license plate off the
car.
Yep.
After the car gets hit by the train, right?
Yep.
Right.
Which is right before the ending.
And then, dude, where's my car? What does mine say?
Dude. No, but what does mine say? Sweet.
What does mine say?
Dude. What does mine say?
And then Evolution.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Okay.
Rundown, like we said. Ice Age 2 and Ice Age The Meltdown. He's Crash.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's one of the ferret? No, not ferrets.
Like otters or something?
Otters, something like that, yeah.
Role Models. Cop Out. I didn't actually watch that one.
Oh, that's Tracy Morgan and Bruce Willis.
Yeah, the Kevin Smith one.
Yeah, that Kevin Smith swears that he'll never work with Bruce Willis again.
Well, I don't think anybody will.
I totally forgot about that. That was my bad.
And then, yeah. Sorry?
I'm trying to think of other things he was in.
Goon.
Goon, American Pie.
Yeah, all of the American Pies, basically. Movie 43. Ugh.
That movie, yeah, we can forget about that one.
Yep. Super Troopers 2. He was Trooper Callahan.
Okay. I don't remember Super Troopers 2 all that well.
And then he was Wesley Cole in Lethal Weapon, the TV series.
I did hear about that.
And then...
Because he took over after somebody left, I believe, because he wasn't the like original choice for the Lethal Weapon show. Because I know Damon Wayans he played Danny Glover's part, I believe it was.
Right. Or
not Damon. Yeah, Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans was Roger Murtaugh.
Yes, Roger Murtaugh.
And then...
Go for this shit.
Clayne Crawford was Martin Riggs, maybe? Or Kevin Rom?
Well, Riggs was Gibson's character, so...
Yeah, okay. And then Sean William Scott was Wesley Cole.
Okay.
Because Martin Riggs left 2018, Sean William Scott came in 2018.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, we got it. But yeah, Jackpot looks amazing, looks fantastic, looks great.
It definitely does.
Looks super fun. And then we have our last trailer for the night, and that is the trailer for Afraid. Yeah.
So it's from the people that made Megan.
Mm-hmm.
Megan. And it is, again, about artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And a family has an AI installed into their house and is taking care of the family, but then
it starts taking care
of the family. If you couldn't see that, we were air quoting.
Mm-hmm.
Since this is a podcast.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at it here. So Catherine Waterston has a top billing, or is on the top of the list here right now, which I think she plays the mom. She was Daniels in Alien Covenant, and Tina in Fantastic Beasts.
Okay.
So she was the American Wizard in Fantastic Beasts.
Right.
John Cho is in there. David Dastmalchian is apparently in there.
Nice.
Which I didn't see him at all, but whatever.
Who's the voice of the AI?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So I was trying to figure out that entire trailer.
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't. 'Cause that looks like the daughter? Maud. I don't remember Maud.
Maud? That movie title sounds familiar.
No, yeah. No, that was a character in the movie, apparently.
Oh, okay.
So my guess is either I'm just completely out of it and Catherine Waterston is the voice of Aya, or Havana Rose Liu.
Okay.
Could possibly be. I don't know.
I guess we'll find out once it gets closer.
Yeah. But I'm not going to go see this.
It doesn't seem like it would be all that scary. But that's fine. I mean, I will go watch it. See, you didn't go see Megan, did you?
Mm-mm.
No, okay.
It's by the director of The Golden Compass and The Twilight Saga New Moon.
Okay.
And Operation Finale.
Okay.
And the writer of The Creator and The Golden Compass, and the screenplay writer of the 2015 Cinderella, and the screenplay writer of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story.
Okay.
And the screenplay writer of Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps.
Nice.
Oh, and Ants.
Nice. So is this Golden Compass, is this the movie or is this the HBO show?
The 2007 movie.
That's a movie I haven't thought about in years.
Chris Weitz.
Okay.
But yeah, then he wrote The Creator as well.
Okay. God, who was in The Golden Compass? That was Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig was in it as the bear, I believe.
Yep. And then Nicole Kidman. She was, I believe, the queen.
Mm-hmm. Magneto was in it.
Oh, Ian McKellen.
Charlie Bucket was in it. From the Johnny Depp one.
Why can't I think of his name right now? I can see him. I can see him from Finding Neverland because I can think of the meme.
And he's also in the main character in The Good Doctor.
Why can't I think of his name right now?
Who played What's the first name of the guy that played Fred in the Scooby-Doo movies?
Matthew.
Not Shaggy, Fred.
Oh, who played Fred?
Yeah. The first name of the guy.
Freddie Highmore.
There you go.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Yeah, okay. All right, thank you.
I got you. And then the Winston from the Continental.
Oh, Ian McShane?
Yep.
Yep.
And Saruman.
That is Christopher Lee.
And Ross from the Ang Lee Hulk.
Nick Nolte.
No.
Oh, Ross? Oh, gosh, who played Ross?
Got a really low voice.
Trying to think back to Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yeah. He played Jennifer Connelly's dad.
Right.
And Nick Nolte was Eric Bana's dad. And he's always got a mustache here. Always talks in a southern drawl.
Wasn't Sam, or why can't I think of his last name? The dude from Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Sam.
He's the caretaker and Ghost Rider.
He is. I can't think of his last name right now, but I know his first name's Sam. And I can see him because he's also in The Ranch.
So, question for you.
Yes.
Do you know the name of the kid in E.T.?
Elliot. Oh, Sam Elliott. I'm dumb.
No, you're not. I got you, man. I got you.
You were really good at that with what's the last name? What's the name of the kid in E.T.? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Sam Elliott.
Yeah. How did we get to Sam Elliott again?
Oh, because of
Golden Compass.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. And that was directed by Chris Weitz, who's directing Afraid.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Gotcha. Oh man. Okay. Oh, and Eva Green is in there too.
Oh yeah. She was in Casino Royale.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name right now in the movie, but she was Daniel Craig's lover.
Yeah. No, she was Vesper.
Yes.
She was the one that set off everything for the rest of the movies.
Yep. She is the reason.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Chris Weitz is directing it. Afraid. Have fun with it.
I will.
But that does bring us to the end of our trailers here. But that being said, make sure you visit us at Facebook. We're at facebook.com/movies. We also Twitter and Instagram at movies. No spaces, dashes, slashes, anything like that. Come on by and say hi.
I'm surprised you didn't ask me if I had anything else to say.
Well, do you?
Well, I was just going to say that speaking of John Cena, he did announce his retirement from wrestling this weekend.
I did see that, yeah.
Which is, I was very shocked to hear that. But yeah, his last year is 2025.
Okay.
So he's going to wrestle all the way through until WrestleMania. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, that doesn't actually, like, take away any, like, special cameos or anything like that either.
Oh, no. He'll still be in movies and things. It's just, like, that'll end his wrestling career.
Well, I mean, like, come back for, like, one or two things, like a WrestleMania or something like that.
Oh, sure. Something like that, yeah. But like, he won't be full-time anymore.
Right. Right.
And
I honestly did not know that he was still full-time wrestling. Quite honestly.
I mean, he does on occasion. He doesn't like full-time, but he does come back every once in a while.
Right.
And
okay.
Maybe for like a couple weeks here and there, but.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
But that's all I had this week.
Okay. Well, it does bring us into the movies that are premiering this week. The first one that we have is, get this, Longlegs. This one is rated R and will be in theaters. In pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. IMDb has this one at an 8.0 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is sitting at a 97%, and Metacritic is sitting at an 81.
I know you're not going to watch this.
No.
And I know I'm going to have to be the one to watch this.
Yep.
And that's totally okay with me.
Good.
So I find it really funny that a bunch of people who I work with
they all think that I'm crazy because I wait here until midnight on Wednesdays to watch these movies, because that's when they unlock for us to be able to watch them. And so I plan on doing that on Wednesday night, and they're like, I can't believe you do that for horror movies. You sit in this theater, in the dark theater, to watch a horror movie, to be scared. It's like, they don't really scare me all that much.
Nice. Very nice.
But I mean, I'm probably going to more so laugh in this movie than I will anything, because I have a feeling it's going to be ridiculously brutal kills.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could be totally wrong. It might just be like all psychological though too. So we'll see.
We'll see how it all goes.
But I love Nicolas Cage.
Very nice. Very nice. Alrighty, that does bring us to our next movie here. And that movie is Fly Me to the Moon. This one is rated PG-13, and it will be in theaters. Brought in to fix NASA's public image, sparks fly in all directions as marketing maven Kelly Jones wreaks havoc on launch director Cole Davis's already difficult task. When the White House deems the mission too important to fail, Jones is directed to stage a fake moon landing as backup, and the countdown truly begins. IMDb has this one at a 6.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic did not have a score for this one.
Okay. A part of me really wants to watch this. Then there's another part of me that is like, just because it's just another space movie. But I like that they're going into the fact that people say that the whole moon landing was fake.
Right.
So I like that they're actually like buying into it in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, it looks fun. I mean, it's Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
You know, with along with a pretty good sized supporting cast.
Oh, definitely.
It does look pretty good.
We had a special sneak preview this past weekend of it, and it was doing pretty well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very nice.
So if you have a chance, come to St. Michael and come watch it this weekend. We're showing it on the Eiffel screen. So
yeah, absolutely. Come and watch the rockets take off and the fake moon landing.
That's right.
It should be fun.
Definitely.
All right, but that does bring us to our last movie of the night, and that one is Touch. This one is rated R, and it will be in theaters. A romantic and thrilling story that spans several decades and continents, Touch follows one widower's emotional journey to find his first love who disappeared 50 years ago before his time runs out. IMDb has this one at an 8.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is sitting right now at a 100%, and Metacritic did not have a score for this one.
I honestly haven't watched anything on this.
The trailer looked intriguing.
Okay.
Basically, it's told across like two different timelines kind of thing.
Okay.
So there's the older version, like it says, where he's trying to go and find his love. So he goes to England. Like I'm trying to think of what language they were speaking, because the first part I believe is going to be subtitled.
Okay.
Let me see here. Sorry, if you give me just a couple of seconds. Icelandic.
Ooh, okay.
And so he goes to London to try to find the location where it was at before, see if she is still living there. Can't find her. Finds out that she actually moved back to Japan.
Okay.
Around the same time that he moved back to Iceland, I guess. And so he goes to Japan. And basically, you know, his kids are calling him, being like, "Hey, when are you coming back? Like, why are you doing this? What's going on?" And he's like, "Well, he's just telling himself, you know, I'm never going back.
Okay.
I'm doing what I can to try to find her because I need to find her." And then there's, you know, kind of intertwined with all of that is the story of, you know, him and his love, I guess, who is I'm guessing whose parents were Japanese immigrants or something like that, who start up a restaurant there. So he kind of starts working there, and they kind of fall in love, but it's a forbidden love for, you know, her dad doesn't want, doesn't want her dating him, kind of thing.
Sure.
And then they end up, like I said, moving back to Japan, and it kind of shows all of that stuff too. So it looks very, like I said, it looks intriguing. It looks like it will be a very, very good movie for an older generation, I guess. You know, not like it's not going to be a kids movie, obviously.
Right.
I mean, it could actually, it could be a somewhat good movie for, you know, like a date night, just in general. So,
Okay.
there is that one coming out this week as well.
Perfect. It seems like there's a little bit for everybody this week.
Exactly. Just not kids.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. Because we still have Despicable Me 4 out in a lot of theaters, and yeah, there's lots of stuff out there.
All right, and plus we have our summer movie series here too.
Here at St. Michael Cinema, absolutely.
That's right.
Which we'll be talking about later, outside the podcast. Sorry, it's for something else for the theater here. If you want to support the theater, come on over and say hi to St. Michael Cinema. Yeah, see you. Got it there. All right, Travis.
Yes.
I have an idea. Let me see if I got this right.
Okay.
The first movie that you want to see is definitely Touch.
You got it. 100%.
I'm guessing just right in the order that we have it on here. Longlegs, Fly Me to the Moon, Touch.
That's correct. Yep. You know me so well.
I was thinking. I actually used the 2 brain cells.
I like it.
But that is the movies that are that is the movies. Those are the movies that are premiering this week. There we go. Grammar good. Travis, do you have anything else you want to say about the movies or the news or the trailers or anything like that?
No, I got nothing, man.
All right. Well, then, make sure you visit us at Facebook. We're at facebook.com/moviesarething. We also are on Twitter and Instagram at moviesarething. No space, dash, or slash, anything like that. At movies are a thing. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/moviesarething. If you want to help support the podcast, we do have that over there. Travis.
Yes, sir.
I do believe it is about that time.
Here it comes.
Cue the outro. Thank you for listening to Movies Are a Thing. Be sure to tune in next week for more movies and tangents with us.
White crisp.
What? Are you looking way out into the future again?
Yeah.
Future. Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
It is the 70th anniversary.
It got very chunky there at the end.
When you have to chew your drink.
And it wasn't sweet at all. I'm going to go refill.
Okay.
Refill.
You go refill. That's good stuff. Whoop. 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 That's right. Gangnam style. Martin Mull.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah. Good old Sawyer. We're closed. Uh-oh. Well, you probably just climbed the stairs.
No.
Oh, no.
None.
No?
9.
9.
9. 9.
10.
Hey. Oh, that's cool. Last one fell off.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Good thing I have a protective covering on.
Good thing.
Okay. So I think I got that. I didn't get the IMDb scores. Oh. Scoozy.
Miss Scoozy.
Every single time I have to sing that every single time.
Fly me to the moon. I take it to fly me to the moon.
Tomatoes. Nope, that was not available. And a Metacritic there. Don't know about Metacritic. We'll check that in a second here. Touche. Touche. Did you see it? It says touche.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it says touche. Touche. But. Bottom.
Touch.
Fais le vache. Hein? Fais le vache. Oh. Metacritic. Metacritic is long legs. Okay. Okay. Nope. Yeah, we get. Let me to the moon. Okay. So that's nothing. Then douche. Douche. Touch. Nothing. Okay. That is Nama. Travis, you want to say something quick?
I guess I can say something. I don't know what you want me to say, though.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why don't you know, Travis? You should know this by now.
You didn't give me a script. I only read what the teleprompter tells me.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Damn it. Who put a question mark on the teleprompter?
Yeah.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
How dare you? Champlin. What?
Are we over 2 hours right now?
2 hours, 24 minutes.
Nice.
2 hours and 34 minutes. So far. Mark that point. I keep on forgetting to mark the points. I don't even know what it's doing, but we'll see. We'll see if it does anything.
All right, let's see.
Almost 3 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, not really.
That'll be a fun.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to it.
Just listening to our voices.
I mean, it's not that. It's just I tend to fall asleep.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Editing itself is just very boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like super boring. And you gotta pay attention so that if somebody accidentally swears or something like that you can take it out, or you got to do everything to try to make sure that everything is at the right level, that there's no, like with the stuff that I do to take out all of those like pauses that we have, it goes off of the decibel level. And so if it's under a certain decibel, then it counts that as basically being silent.
Okay.
But I have to have it a little bit high because of, the ambient noise that we've got going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if for some reason the microphone was like way over here for somebody, it's a little quieter.
Right.
So I have to make sure that gets pushed up so that it doesn't get, chopped off.
I getcha, sure.
Or, if somebody's in there and just kind of leans back from their microphone a little bit.
Who you talking about?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. But, all right. What do you think? Should we stop?
I think so.
All right. Ready? Stop.